Welcome to Life Mastery Radio with Todd Allen and Jackie Bailey, the show that dives into the science of higher consciousness with inspiring topics such as abundance, intention, health, manifestation, love, and transformation. Join Todd, Jackie, and their guests of leading authors, speakers, coaches, and entrepreneurs weekly at 10 a.m. Pacific. Learn to live a peaceful life with intentional mastery. It's all right here with stories and messages to support your well-being and most evocative dreams. Now, here's your hosts, Todd and Jackie.
Hey, it's another groovy day, and that's because I make it that way. And most of you know that's the way I do it. When I get up in the morning, I decide it's going to be a groovy day, and the rest of the day is pretty groovy. Something might happen, something might change, but I always just think back, get it started all over again in a groovy way. As always, my co-host was with me today, Jackie Bailey, smiling. She's all happy. That's why I have her on every week, because she's smiling all the time. No, I'm just kidding. Hi, Jackie. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Well, for those of you that are following along, treatment, about halfway through treatment, I can no longer eat like a normal human being. I have to put food in my stomach another way. And I do that 3 times a day, and it works pretty good. And I'm feeling good today because I'm getting good nutrition. I don't have to worry about eating anymore. Wouldn't that be amazing? Can you imagine?
But you were telling me you have cravings when you see a commercial for pizza.
Oh my goodness, it's horrible. I see a nice pizza commercial and I'm like, oh my gosh, that looks so good. But I gotta wait probably another 6 weeks, and then I'm already dreaming about a nice big juicy steak.
I'm gonna ask you, what do you think will be the first thing you want to have once you have all your faculties back?
A cheeseburger. No.
Really?
A chili cheeseburger.
Oh my gosh.
With steak fries, the big steak fries.
Yeah.
I had a dream about that last night. It was like,
I guess
I just have to use my creative imagination. I can eat anything I want to at any time. I have the tools. Life Mastery has given me the tools to use my creative imagination and just eat whatever I want. And so I've been playing around with that. It works kind of, sort
of. Kind of. Yeah. Do you find that you can imagine the taste of those foods that you could have?
I haven't got to that point yet, because my mouth is my inside of my mouth is kind of pasty.
Yeah.
And I have to swish my mouth out with carbonate water. And so I'm working on it.
Yeah.
I'm working on it. It gives me something to do.
Well, you're very brave, my friend. You are going through some horrific stuff, and I really appreciate your bravery that you're still doing the show and you're still putting so much wonderful content out there for everybody, even though I'm sure you're tired at times and probably would rather be doing.
It's a good day. I'm feeling pretty good today, and I think a lot of that is because of nutrition. I just started on this nutrition regime, and so you had kind of this time when eating was really difficult, and then you start to just say, okay, I give up on eating, here's this stuff. So I'm back up on that peak where I'm getting good nutrition, good hydration, and I think that makes a huge difference. That for sure is making a huge difference.
Yeah.
How are things at Speak Feed Lead? Cruising right along. You got the Speaks Giving coming up.
We do. It is November, and November is a great month for the Speak Feed Lead project because it's my birthday month. And so I'm offering some fabulous deals on our courses and programs throughout November. And as you mentioned, Speaks Giving, which is in coordination with Giving Tuesday, which is always the Tuesday after Thanksgiving. So we've expounded on that. And for the second annual opportunity now, you can make a small donation to the Speak Feed Lead project, as little as $1, but that dollar is going to help you get onto our live streaming event on November 28th on Giving Tuesday. We call it Speaks Giving because we want you to attend, and you're going to get stage time to talk about what you're grateful for in regard to your voice, your message, the ability that you have to put it out there into the world, what you would tell people if you could. We want you to share your inspiring stories, lessons learned, experiences, and so forth. And it's just a day to come together. And, we want our young students to be able to tune in and see all these people on a virtual screen, and they will know that people support them, that people want to hear them, people want to see them, people want to respect them for the messages they have to give. And so it's a visual image that is going to really boost their self-worth, but also give people an opportunity, including our students, a chance to have this international global stage on that day to share the things that you're grateful for.
And
So
that goes all day, right? Isn't that all day
no,
long?
it's 3 hours.
3 hours.
So it's Pacific time, 1 to 4 that day. And once you've donated or given a gift, you can then get the link and let me know when in those 3 hours you'd like to come on, and I'll do my best to accommodate you when you show up. So you don't have to be there all 3 hours. You can
And
come.
where can people go to find out more?
They go to speakfeedlead.org and then click on the tab that says Giving Tuesday. And you'll find the campaign there. It's really easy and user-friendly. And like I say, any small amount will give you a stage. Not everybody will say that to you.
Yeah, you had some great speeches last year. It was pretty fun. That was pretty
we
cool.
had fun. We had a lot of people that stayed the whole time,
Yeah.
and we just had fun conversations. And sometimes somebody will say something and it brings up memories for everybody else. So we get to chat about that, what it was like then, Well, when I was this, then, I did that. Those stories, like a bunch of old people sitting around a campfire or something. But we're
Very
doing it
cool.
for the kids. Yep.
Yeah, check it out. It's a lot of fun. It gives you something to do on that Tuesday. To the Tuesday after Thanksgiving.
Right after Thanksgiving. Yeah.
From 1 to 4. Pretty cool. I
Yeah.
want to remind our listeners that today's show page is at www.lifemasteryradio.com. You can go there. Any links that we talk about, we already have some great links to our guest and to our guest book. We're talking about tech today. And some of you might say, well, what does that have to do with life mastery? Well, I'm going to tell you, if you are not up on your tech, your life is going to be kind of miserable. So a good way to master your life, or another tool to put in your toolbox, is to get up on your tech. And there are some simple things that you're going to go, aha, now I know what Todd was talking about that we're going to be talking about today. I think three of them that come to mind are backups, passwords, and contact management. So and you can already tell right there. Yeah, those would make my life much easier if I had a good handle on those. Don't you think, Jackie?
Oh, yeah. Even if you do not like tech, it is necessary now in your business. And so you have to have a little bit of an education on it. And then if it's still not something you want to focus on, you get somebody like our guest today who's going to help you through it.
Hire
We'll do it for you.
While you're on that webpage, sign up for our newsletter. Jackie creates a newsletter once a week. It highlights who's been on the show, who's coming on the show, and a blog post about the most recent show. It's kind of cool to stay in touch and in tune with all things life mastery. Okay, I think that part is done. I think that this is Jackie's guest. So that means Jackie gets to introduce her. Take it away, Jackie.
I do. And you know what? Not only do we love guests that come on first time with us, but we really love when they come back and they return home for a little while. And Sue Wilhite is one of those guests who is returning to us. And she's got such a diversity about her experience and skills. So I'm excited that she's back, because we're talking about something completely different than we did last time. So Sue Wilhite has spent over 20 years in management information systems, as well as holding a business systems degree. She learned business from the inside as well as the outside, putting it all to work in a successful hypnotherapy practice. What? She also worked for and owned a bookstore. including planning and running over 300 events a year for 6 years, and her own innovative coaching system. I told you she was diverse. Sue Wilhite is now known as the Make It Happen Maven. She loves helping others by making complex subjects understandable and relatable. Sue is the author of a new book, Tech Tips for the Tech-Timid, as you can see there on the screen behind her. It is available now. You're going to explore in her book tech hacks and tools that are going to help you work smarter, not harder, so you can focus on what you do best, which should be growing your business, as we all have to do. So, Sue Wilhite, welcome back to Life Mastery Radio. Great to have you.
Thank you. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you, Todd. Thank you for having me back. I'm
Yeah.
so
Welcome back.
thrilled.
Had such a blast the last time. We had to have a blast again.
Right? Right?
And last time you were doing sound healing.
Sound
Yeah.
healing.
And
Yes.
I looked it up, and that was September of 2021.
Wow.
Oh, it wasn't that long ago. Oh,
God.
oh.
So we won't let that much time pass, because I know you're going to come up with something new next week.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
So
I
you
haven't given up sound healing. Sorry.
no, go ahead.
I haven't given up sound healing.
No, I wouldn't have thought you would. It's just you're a solopreneur, right? Isn't that what you call yourself? You're constantly developing and looking for that next thing that you can help people with.
Exactly. This came out of demand. Which is how you should run your business, you know.
Hey, it's a niche. It's a niche,
It's a
right?
niche. And people get into their heads about what it is. Oh, I'm going to offer this because it's better than sliced bread. And if nobody cares, then you don't have demand. So I still have demand for my sound healing, but this really struck at my heart. Doing
Well, I think that's where your passion and your skill lies, is that you follow the demand. You follow the need. And when you come out of tech early in life, which is much different than the tech that we have now, and you can go back and relearn things, like they say, an old dog that learns new tricks, when you can still be in touch with that and go back in order to help people with the newest technology. That's invaluable and so needed. So I'll say right up front, thank you.
and it's kind of evergreen, right, Sue? Because it can always there's always an update right around the corner.
Right. And I will point out, you see this object right here? Can you tell what that is?
That's a writing utensil.
That's a writing utensil. Do you know what else it is? It's technology.
It's technology.
Well, yeah, that too. It's technology. This is technology. Technology, by definition, is anything that extends human ability.
Interesting.
That's technology. So, the stick you use to scratch your back is technology. This is an amazing instrument. Oh my God, the development of, pens and pencils is fascinating. That's one of the magpie holes that I go down.
Yeah, imagine if we were still using quills
or punching into clay.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Styluses, right?
Or stones and chisels.
Chiseling stones. Hello. Technology has come so far.
Yeah. And it's hard to imagine where it's going, right? Because just when we think, oh wow, this is the end all, it's not, because next week we hear about something else.
Well, there's that series of quotes that's been passed around forever, where the U.S. Patents Office chief back in 18 something said, well, we should close down the patents office because
there's nothing else.
nothing new is going to be invented, Bill Gates saying, well, 64 megabytes should be all anybody ever needs.
Oh my gosh. It's
This
so
baby
funny.
I know.
has 128.
I saw a meme the other day of a trailer, and it was five megabytes of storage, an entire trailer, and then they showed a thumb of a thumb drive, 1 terabyte.
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a
Yeah.
term I'm not even familiar with. A terabyte?
A terabyte
Wow.
is a gigabyte's gigabyte.
A
I believe.
gigabyte of gigabytes.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. Yeah. So, when I was first starting in management information systems, there was a magazine article in one of the early tech magazines that said it was an April Fool's edition, and they had this predictions, what do they do? Like in Good Housekeeping magazine, they'll have highlights of, products that are being released, and Cosmo does it and all this. So it's one of those. And it was Revlon announces nail polish with computer chips in it so that you have computing at the tips of your fingers. And I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for it. I mean, we've got the haptic gloves, so we're nearly there, but I'm waiting for, Revlon to come out with the
Wow.
computer chips in your fingertips. That's the only one that I haven't seen yet that seems to be all of the predictions that I read when I was a kid seem to have been met and exceeded.
Yeah, I wouldn't suspect that that's too far off, because with Apple Play now, is it Apple Play? What is it when you just touch? You just put your phone on the device and it automatically registers, or you just put your card on the device and it automatically registers it.
Right.
And
right.
that's just all in that little chip, right? They could
Right.
easily
Right.
paint that chip right on your finger. Yep.
Exactly. And actually with what I follow this stuff, so you all don't have to, but there's a huge boom in literally biotech. We're not talking genetics, but we are talking genetics, because there are companies that are investigating how to store data in DNA.
Yeah.
Because DNA already stores data.
That was one of my dreams back when I was in high school. I had an electronics class, and I always wanted to be a biomedical technician.
Right.
That was what I was striving for. That was before robotics was big, before all the biomedical stuff. And look at it today. I mean, that would have been a booming field to get into.
Yeah. Nanobots, the whole thing. So yeah, I'm just waiting, when that happens.
Let's back the truck up just a little bit. And I kind of tease people about, right. We kind of got ahead of ourselves, but that's okay. But I kind of tease people a little bit, and I just love what you have to say about, backups. People just take that so much for granted, and it is such a miserable experience if your computer crashes and you don't have a backup. You're pretty much dead in the water, right?
You are dead in the water. You are dead in the water. Could I tell a short story? I know you like stories, but this is a fun story. And it was the story, it was the experience that cemented in me backups are vital. Absolutely vital. So it was in one of my earlier jobs in information systems, and I was working as a junior programmer down at the bottom of the heap. And so it was my job to babysit the tech who came in to maintain our hard drives. Now, our hard drives were the size of dishwashers. And
Truly.
We were thrilled because we had 3 of them, and they had 500 megabytes apiece.
Wow.
So we had 1,500 megabytes. Whoa, this was huge, right? And so, but in order to maintain them, they had to make sure that there was no dust. They had to keep the spindle oiled. They had to, do these things. So the tech would come in, and they'd spin down the drives, open up the lid, the cover on the disk pack, pull it out, put it up on a filing cabinet that was nearby. Go to the second drive, do the same thing, put it up on the filing cabinet. Go to the third drive, do this. And just so you know, these disk packs were about 15-ish or so, 15 to 18 inches wide. And with the cover on it, made it about 20 inches in diameter. And they were, about yay high. So multiple discs on the pack. So he took the third one and he put it up on the filing cabinet and he pushed. And there wasn't room. And so disc pack number 1 fell 6 feet from the top of the filing cabinet down onto the linoleum floor.
Crash.
That is a disc crash.
Literally.
Literally.
That's where the term came from.
This is where it came from. The discs were in kind of a figure 8 infinity sign configuration. And the company was down in the water. There was nothing. They couldn't do anything. The manufacturing went, we had planned downtime, but it was only for like an hour. We were doing this during lunch, right? So the manufacturing company could do no process, no sales orders, could do no manufacturing, could do no inventory, could do no accounting, no nothing. 150 people were doing nothing. And, we had a backup, but at the time it was reel to reel. So it took 12 hours to restore. Once we got another disk pack.
Yeah.
Snow day. Snow day.
So the company lost nearly 24 hours worth of business.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, you got to have a backup, because if we hadn't had a backup, we didn't do daily backups. I mean, they lost what they did that morning, but oh well.
And it doesn't take that much. So in today's world, it's a click of a button. Right, Sue?
Right. Nowadays, so I use a program called iDrive, which does it at 2:00 in the morning, and it backs up my hard drive, and it takes 30 minutes, and I'm asleep. And if I accidentally deleted something and come back the next day and go, oh, you mean I really did need that file? I just go into iDrive and go restore, and it's
But
I barely have a time to take a deep breath. If my hard drive, don't be good hard drive, good hard drive. If my hard drive should suddenly develop a snag, I just get, another hard drive, stick it in there, go to Best Buy, stick it in, and go to iDrive, and 30 minutes later, I would be up and running.
Yeah, restore.
Restore. You've got to have a backup. I have had phone calls from clients at 8:00 at night going, help, my disk, my PC just crashed. I've got the blue screen of death. And what do I do?
Even Sue, so now we have these things, talk about progress. Now we have these things called SSDs, solid state drives.
Yes.
But they still fail, right?
They still fail. A good glitch in the system,
or a virus.
Or an electrical
like
charge, a good zorch from the electrical system.
Yeah. So are you suggesting then that you have something on the cloud as a backup rather than like a backup disk, an actual hard drive disk? Is that what you're suggesting then?
The answer is both.
Okay.
The answer is both. And if you're really good, you do it 3 ways. If you're really, really paranoid, you have a hard drive present on your system that does backups. You back up to the cloud, which presumably is a remote location. But what you also do is take one of those backups that you've done on your hard drive and write it off to another hard drive, do a copy of it off to another hard drive, and ship it somewhere remote.
Mm.
There are companies that will take those, and they have them in vaults. Iron Mountain, a couple of other places that do secure document storage. They do secure disk drive storage that are EMP shielded. They do this for companies large and small, and they just you get a little bag, you stick it in a little bag that's electrically neutral, and poof, off it goes. So if you're really paranoid, that's what you do.
But that's not something that you could do every day, right? So that's
Most solopreneurs probably can't afford to do that every day, but to do it once a week, well worth it.
okay.
Because you never know. It might be nice to be able to recover at least 1 week minus.
Yeah. Yeah.
Billing information, contact information, customer
Exactly.
information,
Exactly.
prospect information. I mean, just imagine, for those of you out there, if that's just gone, like poof,
Right.
What would you do?
Right. Oh, and here's another reason that here's something else you want to back up that I got to deal with one of my clients. His website was hacked.
Yeah.
But I had backups because I had just been working on his website. So I had clean backups before it was hacked.
Oh, right.
Back up your website.
There's another one. Sure.
Mm.
Sales order.
Yeah, all that content you've created, all that information. It's crazy.
Right. There are easy programs to back up your stuff from your website.
Look into it. It's got me thinking, because I just upgraded my software. I've been using an old DOS-based accounting software at my machine shop for years because it worked.
Yeah. I get
But
it.
then Windows 10 came out, and there's just no way it was going to support it. No way. So I had to update. It was time. Took a little while to incorporate. But we just got that up and running. It's running great. And I got to tell you, Sue, I do not have a regimented backup plan in place. Now, my accountant comes and visits every once in a while, and he always gets a backup, but that could be a month old.
Mm-hmm.
So you got me thinking about that one. Let's move down the road just a little bit to another teaser I talked about, and that's passwords. Welcome to the world. You know what I really like about today, though? My bank, my health records, PayPal, a lot, and Google even are now requesting that they text me a code on my phone in order for me to continue on with the login. I think that is brilliant. It's still got its downfalls. I mean, if somebody had my phone, they could still get into all my stuff.
Yes.
But password management is still important.
Absolutely. And my favorite thing is your birthday is not your password. Your dog's name is not your password. Your children's names are not your password.
Right.
Do not put anything that is significantly guessable. And oh, by the way, those programs like at your bank, when they ask you, your verification stuff, and they say, where was your father born and what was your favorite teacher's name? Put something different. Put the wrong thing.
And you got to remember that, though.
And you got to remember the wrong answer.
But that's, yes. But, if your father was born in New Jersey and it's easy to look that up.
Yeah.
Put Sausalito.
Yeah.
Something else.
Or where he lived or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Because that's too guessable. People don't understand how much information is out there that you don't even have to hack to find.
I was going to say, are there really hackers that are spending all this time trying to figure out information? But what you're saying is they don't have to spend that much time. It's just there.
They are, that is their job. That is, if you think about the fact that they can earn thousands of dollars, that is their job. I'm a relatively law-abiding human being, speed limit here and there.
Oh, come on, Sue, you're a rebel. You know it.
And so my mind doesn't work on, how can I take advantage of somebody's vulnerabilities and steal tens of thousands of dollars from their IRA?
Yeah.
But this is the way these people's minds are working. Oh, you have a lot of money, therefore I can take it. It's mind-boggling to me, but that's the way their brains work.
Yeah.
That's why they're so focused on it. And they're using tech to help them.
So then as we get older, our memories don't serve us as well. So when it comes to passwords then, what do you suggest? Are there programs that keep
Yep.
our passwords for us, that makes it
Yep.
not necessary
Yep.
for us to remember?
Yes. Thank you for asking. There are several of them out there. One of them made the news recently, which is LastPass. And I was kind of sad about that because I've been using LastPass for years. However, LastPass was very clear. Okay, it's really easy to foil this. Just change your master password to something that is like 16 characters, and then you're good to go because your passwords are encrypted and they're encrypted with your master password. So if you change your master password, you're good to go.
Yeah.
It's not that hard. So I use LastPass. I love LastPass, but there's also Dashlane, Keeper. Trying to think of what the other one is. I can't. It's in my book. And they're really easy to use. They can be used on all of your devices. That's the thing that I really love. Whether you've got a Mac or a PC or both, whether you've got an iPhone or an Android or both, an iPad, a Samsung or both, doesn't matter. These programs work on all of them. LastPass is like $20 a year.
So walk us through how that works. How does the service provide what it's saying it provides?
This is what I think is the best thing. So Jackie, you're an entrepreneur, right? So you have your website password, right? You have Zoom password, you have Facebook password, you have Instagram password, you might have TikTok or YouTube or all of the different passwords that an entrepreneur has. Thrivecart, all of them. Canva. I could go down the whole list of things that entrepreneurs have as passwords. You're not going to keep those in your head, and you better not be using the same password for all of them. That's a really bad thing.
Right.
And so what security folks recommend is that you have between 12 and 16 characters, and they need to be random. Like you said, you don't even have to be, over 30 to not want to memorize 17 different passwords that are 16 characters apiece.
Right.
Let's not take up the brain cell of doing that.
Yeah.
So what LastPass and these others do is you create one master password that you can remember, that's not obvious. And what it does is, let's say, for instance, I just bought a new AI utility the other day, and I got onto it and I created a username and I used my email address and I used LastPass to generate a password of the right length and number of characters. And I clicked save password in the program, and LastPass comes up and says, hey, you want me to say that for you? And I say, yes. And the next time I go to log into that utility, the website comes up, LastPass fills it in for me, and I don't touch it.
Yeah.
So
but Google will do that too, but I don't know that we can trust Google.
It's more trustable than a lot of things, but I still wouldn't trust it.
Yeah. I mean, it's to me, Google, I mean, I really appreciate that they do that. And it makes it very handy. But I always think, gosh, they are so big and so hackable, and anybody, can get to that data. Not anybody, but I'm sure certain people can get to that data and, make a lot of money selling it.
Well, that's the interesting thing is Google is one of those companies that really has not made the news for being hacked.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why I'm saying they're more trustable than others. That's because they have a fleet of human beings and computers that are watching all the time, and they are working with the government all the time. And the government can't hack their system.
Right.
Okay, so go ahead. Before we leave that, because I can see how, something like that is valuable. But if someone actually steals my laptop, for instance, where Google or FastPass or LastPass, I'm sorry, has stored all of this information and it's an autofill,
right?
Are they just going to be able to get in anyway if they actually have my device?
So, yes, unless you are paranoid. So here's the deal. Here's the deal. If you're on a Mac and you're using Safari, LastPass doesn't. You have to go through one extra hoop in order to get LastPass to fill things in.
Okay.
So there's another hoop. If you are on a Mac or a PC and you're using Chrome, my recommendation is shut down Chrome when you're not using it. Quit Chrome when you're not using it. Because Chrome will, you could always save off whatever tabs you have, right? You can always say, save my tabs. And when you shut down Chrome and you come back and there's all your tabs open again, but LastPass will have logged out. And so it will not fill things in. So if you're reasonably paranoid, doesn't even take extreme amounts of paranoia. When you're done for the day, quit Chrome, quit Safari. Then LastPass can't fill it in, and it won't on your phone. So you have to sign into LastPass every single. That is kind of a pain, but I'll take it. You have to sign into LastPass every time you want to log into something on your phone or tablet.
Got it. Okay.
So you've written this wonderful book. It is going to the print here real quick. It is available as an ebook or on Kindle, and I happen to
other places,
and I happen to get it. You have many chapters, time-saving tips, streamlining your workflow, never miss a beat, stay connected, protecting yourself online, mastering Google. It's just a plethora of tech information. Ditch your website, video conference like a boss. Everything's in here. Keep your tech up to date, how to troubleshoot common tech issues, and final words to the wise. So we just have limited time today, Sue. So pick one of those chapters and let's just kick it around in the weeds for a while.
Okay, ditch your website.
Don't tell me that. I pay a lot of good money to have a website. Isn't that what we were
That is why I'm telling you to ditch it. So Jackie, you may be an exception because you have somewhat more than most entrepreneurs do on their website. Most websites are simply a brochure.
Yeah.
Most websites are simply, hi, here I am. Look at my stuff. Wanna buy?
Yeah.
And you're paying how much per year for that? Maybe you've got a shopping cart attached to it. Mostly you have a calendar attached to it. That's about it. Ditch it. Do for free or for maybe $5 a month. Get a digital business card.
That's something new.
Digital business cards have been around since before the pandemic.
Yeah.
I started with one called Hi Hello, and then 10,000 cards, and then I'm using one called Link, L-I-N-Q, right now, and they all do pretty much the same thing.
Is that what Linktree is as well? And Three.
Well, Linktree kind of is. Linktree has evolved. Linktree used to be something where you could say, instead of listing all the things in my bio, there's one link. You go to Linktree and you'd see all the links, to the other social media sites, your websites, your videos, and all of that sort of good stuff. That's what Linktree started out being. And now it's more of a digital business card. It's kind of gotten into. But Link, LINQ, is a digital business card in that, you get your picture and you get, I put my book up on it. I've got a little video that goes up there. And, my social media stuff is there, and I can add multiple pages to it.
Mm-hmm.
So does it get searched the same way a website does?
Yes, because it is a website.
It's just a simple.
It's just a simplified, very, very, very user-friendly, cut and paste. You go into Link and they have all of these options along the left-hand side. What do you want to add? You want to add social media? Great, here, just click this, pull it over. You want to add, video, click this, pull it over. You want to add another page? Great, hit plus sign. It's so easy to use.
Sounds like what was the name of that company before Facebook that all the kids were into?
MySpace.
MySpace.
MySpace. Sounds kind of like that.
A little bit. Yeah, MySpace still exists, by the way.
Yeah.
You can't log into it, but it still exists.
It still exists.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like I use 360.com, and I think that's probably a digital business card too. So they log in, they can see a video introduction that I've made, right?
Right.
They can see my books, they can see other websites, they can see all my social media, they can see special events I'm hosting or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And as long as you're not doing something complicated, as long as you're not like Target or IBM or something like that, you don't need, if you're going to use your website as a brochure, dump it and get a digital business card for far, far, far cheaper, far less possibility of it being hacked. Because there's less data there.
Yeah. Interesting.
Fascinating.
Okay.
What else about why else should I ditch my website?
Because you don't want to maintain
it. That's a really good reason.
You don't want to maintain it. And I've gotten clients because they have hired a web designer from one of the sites that I won't call out, but they do freelance work, and there's a lot of those. So, but they've hired somebody from one of these freelance sites who they're jobbers, right? They work, they want multiple jobs. They do not want to be with you for the long haul. They don't necessarily care about you. And so you get them to do your website, great. You've offloaded that work. They've created your website. You got your website up, and now what?
Yeah.
Are you going to be the one who updates the plugins? Are you going to be, what do you do when you need to change something? What happens if you get hacked?
Yeah, I have three websites now that were designed by a young gal, and she had her own company and was going strong, and that company doesn't exist anymore.
Right. Right. I have a speaker website that I am about to convert to a page on one of my digital business cards.
Yeah.
And just say, here's my latest, here's my speaker reel. Here is my latest appearances. Here's my book. Here's what you want to know. Here's my media package. I don't need to pay.
So you could have like a landing page, I think is what you're saying too, instead of an actual website.
Yes, you could have a landing page if you're selling something.
Yeah, they could
giving
start
something away.
A funnel or something like that, right?
Yes, but you have the landing page not necessarily as a web page.
Right.
You have the landing page through something like Thrivecart or Kartra or System.io or one of those, and they're the ones hosting it, you know.
Yeah,
and they've
right.
got a bunch of other features like the shopping cart and the funnels and all of that good stuff, the emails. You could just put it all in there and save a ton of money too. You know, you need to have it in two places. That's the other one of my other big things.
Yeah, web domains are expensive. Website is a monthly expense. Keep them up on your domains. Keep it's that, you know,
Right.
It's all just big holes in your money bucket.
Your budget. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, let's talk about another one. And this is probably a big deal today. And I think with AI coming, it's going to be even a bigger deal. And that's protecting ourselves. What do we have to think about? What do we have to worry about in protecting our online presence?
Well, the biggest thing is be slightly paranoid. You know, I see people in coffee shops and they're on their phone and they're clearly putting in their password for their phone, right? It's like, don't do that in a coffee shop, for God's sake. You know, at least walk outside where there aren't cameras.
Unless you have what's a VPN.
Oh, a VPN. So yes, I have a portable VPN.
Virtual private network.
Virtual private network. Virtual private networks, I have one of those where if I really feel that I'm doing something that I really don't want to be hacked, I go through my VPN. And so what the VPN is they have created, it's basically an internet provider that sits on top of your internet provider. You still have to have Wi-Fi in order to have it, but it sits on top of your Wi-Fi provider, your internet provider, and it masks what's happening. It pretends that you're somewhere else. So here I am in Sonoma County, and I could pretend to be in Atlanta. I could pretend to be in Seattle. I could pretend to be in Dallas. I can pretend to be in Idaho because I can choose what server. I could pretend to be in Slovenia for that matter, if I really wanted to. So I could pretend to be in another location so that it masks my root data.
Yeah, we're not,
right?
Yeah.
And so I have a digital VPN and I have a portable VPN that just, it's whenever I feel like I am at risk somewhere, I turn those on. I'm taking my laptop somewhere, or I'm taking my phone somewhere and I'm doing work, I'm going to use one of those because they're less hackable.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say that anything is totally unhackable.
They'll always find a way, right?
They will find a way. We're dancing as fast as we can to stay in one place.
Wow.
And they're trying to get ahead.
I imagine that these people these hackers, if they could expand their energy onto something more positive, imagine what they could be creating instead of
there is an entire part, I don't know whether to call it a division, a department of the FBI who does nothing but try to recruit hackers and make it worth their while to, be a white hat rather than a black hat.
Yeah.
But is that even any good these days?
Yes.
No, I get they're on the good side, but it seems like more and more the good side's becoming I don't know how good they are anymore.
Right. So, and yet some of these ex-black hatters have forestalled some really horrifying projects.
And their conscience has to catch up with them, I mean, after a while. Here, the universe does not let you get away with nefarious activity forever.
No, it doesn't. And one of the things to remember is some of these people are desperate. They're starving. They're literally starving, right? And they're doing literally whatever it takes
to survive.
So survival is their number one thing. Some of them are motivated by political ideology, but a lot of them are just trying to get by.
Yeah.
So
at the deception and defeat of others, though. I mean,
yes.
that's got to play in your conscience. It would be
eventually. And you know, if you're starving, if you're desperate, if
I get it.
You know, we are first world folks, and we just have not much idea. I know, Jackie, I've talked to you about you had somebody in Uganda, Tanzania, who was just grateful to get a laptop at all.
Yeah. He was in
Nigeria, yes. You know, the poverty level. We could go down to Best Buy. We could go on Craigslist and get it used. You know,
yep.
Not much money, but we have income. We don't have to decide whether we're going to eat or buy a laptop.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, ladies! It looks like we have about 5 minutes left. Sue, does anything else come in mind that you would like to clue us in on, or that comes to helping people with tech?
Yeah.
So I want to talk briefly about, you teased at the beginning about 3 things that thank goodness they're my favorite 3 things. And we talked about passwords, and we talked about backups. And I want to talk about what y'all now call customer relationship management. And what I would like to change, and I talk about this in my book, business relationship management. I want to call it business relationship management, because we 3 here are in a business relationship, right? And I want to have you all's contact information, the date of my appearance, what happened, what did we talk about. I'm going to put that in my database.
Relationship contact management shifts.
Relationship contact management, but this is business, you know? And I'm going to be sitting here going, what can I do for Todd and Jackie? What can I do to help promote them? And so tech, there are programs out there. There are very few, because most customer relationship is all focused on how can I get clients, and how can I get them in the pipeline, and how can I get sales, and all of that sort of thing. And they don't give you the option of, how do I track business relationships? How do I track JVs? How do I track who recommended me to whom? You know, because Kimberly introduced me to Jackie, and Jackie introduced me to you, Todd. So, you know, how do I manage those relationships? That's not in any CRM, that many. And so I only know of like 2 of them that allow you to set up those kind of relationships. One of them is Insightly, and I talk about that in my book. And the other one that I talk about is Engage Pro, which is all about business relationships, and has ways of, even whether it's a customer or whether it's a business relationship, how do you stay in touch? How do you foster that relationship? So it's business relationship management, not customer relationship management. And I encourage people to take advantage of tech to help you do that. And Engage Pro actually uses AI.
That's a big time saver, don't you think, Sue? It's a huge time. It's a huge time saver.
Huge time saver. And you know, just like trying to remember passwords, you know, I get on Kimberly Crow's Speakers Playhouse, and there's 60 people. How am I going to keep track of all those people?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and their information's zooming by in the chat really fast. It's like, wait, stop.
So the guy who created Engage Pro created something called Chat Bridge that allows you to save the chat, sort the chat, pull out relevant things from the chat, and put them into Engage Pro so you can follow up with them later. So, you know, there's technology for you. There is a tool that extends the human ability and allows you to move forward with your business, because that's what tech should do. It should help you move your business forward,
Right.
not keep you stuck.
Right.
Or frustrate you.
Not
and
make this
frustrate
harder. Yeah.
Right. Right.
Or
And so
frustrate you
if
with
your
crazy
business
things.
isn't tech, you shouldn't be doing it.
I like it. So how do people
There
find
you-
you?
People can find me through mstechcoach.com. And you can find all the places my book is available at techtipsbook.com. As Jackie mentioned, I used to own a bookstore, so there's the A word. And I don't like being limited by them. So I'm available on multiple platforms. Although I admit there's a certain reach in other places, but
Yeah.
Right.
I want to be available as far as I can.
Oh my goodness, ladies, we're out of time. Thank you so much, Sue, for showing up as you. I had a blast. Did you have a blast?
I had a blast. Thank you, Todd. Thank you, Jackie, for having me
Yeah.
back. It can't be this long next time.
No, we can't wait to hear.
No, we'll keep tabs on you and see what that next big thing is that you come up with.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
it will be a big thing.
It will be they're all big things. Everything's a big thing.
Yeah. Right. Thank you, Sue.
Thank you.
That's
Blessings.
about all we have time for today. I hope you enjoyed the show. My biggest hope is you'll tell a friend about the show and tell a friend about our YouTube channel. Jackie and I have over 300 shows on YouTube, all things life mastery, including tech tips now. I think this is the first show we've done on tech tips. It's kind of cool. Lastly, please, please, please make it a great day, because it is all about choice. Choose to check out Sue and choose to show up again next week. Same bat channel, same bat time. Bye-bye for now.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you for tuning in to Life Mastery Radio. Join Todd Allen and Jackie Bailey and their guests of leading authors, speakers, coaches, and entrepreneurs weekly at 10 a.m. Pacific. Learn to live a peaceful life with intentional mastery through stories and messages to support your well-being and most evocative dreams. Visit their website, www.lifemasteryradio.com. Join their mailing list and be notified about upcoming guests. That's lifemasteryradio.com.